For my speech, I'm going to go over the topic of Maslow's hierarchy of needs and how these needs of every human being are not always met, and we have to be more mindful of them, as well as a few counter arguments and points that may be on the other side of the coin. The first is the breakdown of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Um, there's there's five total levels, but they're broken up into three main categories, which is the psychological, physiological, and the self fulfillment or the call to purpose. Um, the first one that I would like to talk about is the self fulfillment needs and how sometimes we know what it is that we want to do and we feel like we know what our call to purpose is, and then there's times or periods in our life where we go through phases of depression, sadness, we lose our way. It doesn't always have to be depression. It could be anything that happens that can change or alter what it is that you find your call to purpose to be. There's a statistics by Brody Patton Hughes in 2018 that said that 8.1% of the population at any given time is currently involved in or dealing with depression. And this is very important, just knowing that anybody can be in that 8%, at any given time. The second one is the psychological, and this one kind of goes back to that original one with the self fulfillment, where your psychological needs have to be met as well. And a lot of times you lose your sense of fulfillment by a loss of sense of direction. And there was a study done by Brody and the World Health Organization in 2007, which says that women, on average or in general, have higher rates of depression than men. Um, the third one is the basic needs. So we in the United States are very privileged in the sense that everything that we consider to be poor and or poverty level is so much higher than the rest of the world. Um, it says that by the World Health Organization in 2013 that 50% of the global population is in poverty. 50%. That's 2.2 billion children in the world. 1 billion of them live in poverty, which I think is ridiculous to think about how many children that is in the world. Um, the point of all this is that we have to be mindful in what it is that we're doing on our end of the field, where we have more privilege, we have access to more resources, and how are we utilizing those resources to allocate them without being unproductive in our efforts. How can we do our part to provide for a better society? And then the alternative to that is what is the purpose? What would be the reason for this? Why would you go out of your way for someone who their life does not affect you, who if anything ever happened to you, they wouldn't be there to help you? What would be the point? And there was a study done by a man named Jason Sadler, and essentially what he did was he collected a bunch of T-shirts in an effort to help give clothes to African children. He collected all these T-shirts, and what happened was eventually it created a dependency, and it hurt the local economy from where he was from, or where they were from in Africa, because there was no point in the local businesses making T-shirts when they know that they can get them for free. And that kind of dependency is what one would consider to be very unproductive or a waste of our resources and things of that nature. And although the logic is sound behind it, that's when you look at the grand scheme of things, that's a hyper, or one, not one in a million, but that's very slim, that the kindness that we show backfires or is seen or unproductive or things of that nature. In general, like I think that it's very important that yes, you may have small hiccups here and there and not everything's going to be perfect, but when we're trying to promote for the general welfare, it's an all hands on deck kind of job where everybody does a little bit here and there, and it will overall promote for a decent life for everyone. We have more people dying from obesity than malnutrition. So if we all did our part to share or what we can give, the world would be a lot better as opposed to taking the more selfish or personal approach and making it more so just about us. Thank you.